Just behind me are the ruins of the Hellenistic temple, which we discovered on the way to the amphitheatre, which is just up the road. Now, the amphitheatre that we're going to show you as well is also Hellenistic, and that was built around the first quarter of the 1st century BC. It was such a surprise finding it just sitting in a little field off the main street, backing onto an old gentleman's back garden where he's got chickens and cats. So let's go and do a bit of exploring. Isn't this a fabulous location to build an amphitheatre? The amphitheatre is Hellenistic and it was built around the first quarter of the 1st century BC, and it's set amongst the local olive groves and nestled in the hills with a fabulous view of the sea. Just behind me you can see Cash Town Harbour, and you can actually see the mast of ABC because that's where she's moored. Originally the amphitheatre had 28 rows and it was built to accommodate 4,000 people. There are 26 rows and there are 4 stairways set around the semicircle so that people can enter and exit, and there is also an entrance exit way at the back at the top of the amphitheatre, which I'll show you now. I wonder what time the next show starts. What's this? That looks like a well or a cistern of some kind. Ah, it's another ancient relic, look. So often when we're walking through Cash, we see remnants of old tombs, broken lids of coffins or columns that must have been supporting a structure at some point. And they're just in amongst people's gardens and fields and lying on the side of the roads. Quite interesting to see how many there were. And obviously people don't have a use for them, so they're just left to sit there for people like us to discover.
Down here it tells us that it is Monday the 10th of December at 11 o'clock. Up here is the south of France. There is Marseille, and here is usually the direction that the Mistral wind comes from, and normally the Mistral will die out somewhere around about here as it loses strength. However, this one is continuing its path all the way across the Mediterranean, past Sicily, across to the mainland of Greece, through the Greek islands, and it will continue across to Turkey. And we are positioned just about here at the moment in the harbour at Kaş. Now let me just play this screen for you and you'll see how this weather system develops. I'll keep this here so you know where we are. So somewhere around about 2 p.m. tomorrow morning, we should be over the worst of it. So we're expecting the real big bad stuff to be passing us by between 6 o'clock tonight and 2 o'clock in the morning. So it's going to be a pretty blowy 8 hours or so. Up on deck of ABC, we have folded away our bimini and put the bimini cover on because the wind gusts are predicted to be up to 50 knots, which is a pretty bloody good blow. Another thing we've done is we've put our boom preventer on, and this is really just to stop any noise from the boom rather than anything else to do with the wind. It runs through that D-ring there and then ties off on the aft cleat. We do have 2 lines ashore from astern, 3 lines ashore on the starboard side, and 2 more lines ashore on the port side. The brave Coast Guard guys are going out. I don't know whether they're just going out for a day patrol or a full day and night patrol, but I wouldn't like to be out there in this weather unless it's part of their training to be out in inclement conditions. We are expecting most of the wind to come from that direction over there, which is west-southwest, and it will veer off to the west as the major part of the wind passes us. That means, of course, we can leave the spray hood up because that will just allow the wind to blow over the top of that. Our dinghy on the foredeck is tied down to the tow rail at the front and secured to our stays at the back end. The mainsail and the head sail are both nicely furled away. All of the lines on deck and any halyards are also tightened. So that's all the prep that we can do. Of course, the wind prediction websites will update one more time later on today, and we'll check those and see if there's any lessening of the wind speed and especially the wind gusts. It's now 5:45 in the afternoon. Looking at the whitecaps on the water, I would estimate that we've probably got about 20 knots of wind right now. It is still predicted to be gusting up to 50 knots between now and midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. We have prepped the boats as much as we possibly can. There's nothing else we can do except sit tight and wait it out and see how it goes.
I don't know how much of this you can actually see, but there's been some really bad wind, big waves, and we've lost most of our fenders. We were side 2 on the harbour wall, and so sort of everything just got really bad really quickly, and Smiley got a whole heap of guys and they've just come and helped us move the boat. So we're now stern 2, and everyone's just securing the boat with lines. So we were very close to not having one side of the boat there. Okay!
So, it's camera on.
On!
We Turkish people love everybody. We love to help.
We see.
Please don't believe any politic things. There
True.
is no war in Turkey.
No.
Everything is fine.
Turkish people are lovely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Stop. See
Yeah.
you tomorrow
Okay.
for a couple of coffee.
Okay.
Oh, we will buy you lots of coffee.
So here we are the day after that night, and believe it or not, that's just 21 knots of true wind that's blowing out there. I suspect that it's a little bit higher over here on the outside of the harbour wall, where the waves are certainly giving us a bit of a display and lots of spray.
After posting pictures of our collection of popped fenders the following day on social media, We were visited by our friend Jens, who has his yacht in Cash Marina, and he'd come to kindly donate 2 of his old fenders in exchange for a couple of beers. And that's what the sailing community is all about. I absolutely love the sound of sizzling bacon cooking, and with the sausages that we also got in Fettier, plus eggs and beans, Baz and I enjoyed a delicious big brekkie.
So here we go. Bacon and eggs and sausage and beans. Probably well worth the 5-hour round trip to Fettier.
Yeah. Enjoy.
And here we are in Cash Harbour, enjoying it on a very, very pleasant winter's day.
Yeah.
Oh, HP sauce.
Oh, well, I might have mustard for me.
Sausage.
So, I'm just going to do a sort of side shot. So what's that look like to you?
Yeah.
Except I can't eat anything.
I'll help you later.
Okay.
Another part of our lost footage from the second digital disaster was when we cut out all of the lettering and applied them to the boom of ABC. One of the things that we found when we were cutting the letters out was we didn't have enough letters for writing www.youtube.com/sailingabc. So we did a quick Google search for @sailingabc, and if you put that in, you get everything. You get our Twitter, you get our Instagram, you get our Facebook, you get our YouTube, and you get our website. So this is kind of a catch-all. And we've also just recently applied to YouTube to see if we can get permission to use their logo at the front end. So it'll be YouTube @sailingabc. Now the only thing we've got to do is get a couple of more letters from a local printer. I think we need a couple of more A's and a couple of more S's. Because when we cut out the letters, we didn't have enough for doing both sides of the boom. But like everything on a boat, it's a work in progress, and we'll get round to it. Next week on Sailing ABC, we begin the process of applying for our 12 months Turkish residency, and we'll also take you inside Smiley's restaurant here in Cash Harbour, where we show you the ancient relic that was discovered underneath. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give us a big thumbs up and leave a comment, because we do enjoy reading them and replying to you. And if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you get notifications every time a brand new Sailing ABC video is released.